Blessings, generations of God, blessing. This is Heaven, your host, on bloodline errors, evil foundational errors, the church that is hidden in the hand of darkness. Today I want to speak about what causes us to conceive. I want to speak about the truth that says life is spiritual. You know, when we grew up, when we were growing up in our father's houses and our mother's houses, it was the spirits that were growing us up, not our fathers and our mothers. Because we are coming from the spiritual realm, we're coming from the spirits. So therefore, we are raised very well by who? By spirits more than what? Human beings. God gave us to human beings as a transport to bring us into this realm. And then when we come into this realm, according to our foundations, some foundations they might have 100 spirits, some they might have 10, some they might have thousands spirits. If you are following me, you'll understand when I'm talking about foundational spirits. But I'm just going to say this. Some foundations, they have spirits of fornication, adultery, drugs, drinking alcohol, lies, pride, etc., etc. So those spirits, what they do, they grew us up. You understand? They are what grows us up. Do you understand? Some families they are strong in the laws. They are strong. They are very strict. They are strong in the laws of worshiping idolatry, worshiping ancestors. Those spirits, they grew up the lineage of that family. They grew up the children of that family. Hence if now you are a child that's coming from such a family that is very strong in the worship of the ancestors, that is very strong in the spirit of being strict and very strong in the what is the thing, in their ways of growing up very strict, respect and all that, you can tell and you can see. And who was growing that and who was instilling that in such a generation? It was not a man that you see. It was not that father that you see. It was not that mother that you see, but the spirit that is in that foundation. Do you understand? And we know that most, if you are following me, you know that Ndobana, before the foundations of the earth, the Lord has made us to be blameless before Him, right? And the enemy also put his hand there. He released his own spirits. When our father Adam and Eve, they sinned and then they were cursed, the devil was very angry with such curses that were brought over himself. And then there was an open up now and a rain of spirits that came to what? To our families. You understand? That is called what? Evil foundation in our families. So when we grew up with we are raised by such what spirits. Hence you will find someone now is very rude, does not honor or elderly people. They just speak. It is not that person and it is not the mother of that person, but it's the spirit of that foundation that has grew up that child. Do you understand? It is the spirit of that foundation that grew up that child. Sometimes your child will be swearing at a very young age and you'll be shocked by who did you hear that one from? It's a spiritual thing. As that child is growing, there are spirit around that child that is molding up that child. Same applies now. I wanted to talk about conceiving. That is why you will see some of our children at the very young age, maybe 15, 16, they will be pregnant. You understand? Because why? The spirit of fornication that is in the foundation was teaching the child, and then now to reach a stage where it says, now you are going to give birth to my teachings. So who slept with that child? It was the spirit of what? Of fornication. But because we are living now, this is a physical world. We are no longer in the spiritual world. It's a physical world. So we have to do what? To point a finger at a boy. We have to point a finger at a man and say, that is the man that impregnated me. But truthfully, men they do not know how to impregnate anyone. Do you understand? They do not know how to impregnate anyone because it's a spiritual thing. Do you understand? That is why when you are married, who gives the fruit of the womb? It is God. It is the Spirit of God that does that. That gives the fruit of the womb. Because men do not know how to conceive. Men can never conceive. We do not know how to make a man. We do not know how to make a baby. It was God that formed and created, and it's still God that forms and creates even today. You understand? But because we have that moment of intimate, we're thinking that I have made this wife of mine pregnant. No, you do not know. You do not have the power to do such a thing. It is the Spirit of God that has done the things that are hidden to men that we would not understand. So conceiving is what? It is the way of God. It is the system of God that we will never fully understand. Do you understand? But when you are without God now and you get pregnant, you understand? When you get pregnant, it was not that man that impregnated you, but it is a spirit that influenced you. If you got pregnant during adultery, you understand, the spirit of adultery slept with you and conceived a child. If it was a fornication, I'm not married, you're just fornicating, the spirit of fornication impregnated you, made you to be pregnant and gave you a child. You understand? That is why we all have to go through now we all have to go through a deliverance, because that child that you have conceived, that child that you had, it did not come through the Spirit of God. So we have to go through now a deliverance, and that child has to go through a deliverance to do what? To remove the spirit of fornication out of that child, so that it is not going to be a repetition. It is not going to be what I call family pattern. We have to break now that pattern of being impregnated by spirits of fornication, and by spirits of of lust, and by spirit of adultery. You understand? Then now we convert now to God. You understand? We accept Christ, we convert now to God, and God will lead us to our ordained partners. Then when it is time for us to conceive, the Spirit of God will do what is unseen and what is unknown by man, because we don't know anything. It's not because you have slept with your partner that now you're like, no, I've slept with my partner and then now my partner is pregnant. No, it's a spiritual thing that we will never, ever, ever know. Do you understand? Because if it was about sleeping with each other, then a lot of people would have conceived today. Do you understand? A lot of people would have conceived today. Look at our children today. Because of their fornicating, because the spirit of fornication is under the vision of the enemy, under the vision of darkness, which is the devil. So our children, even if they slept once, boom, they will conceive. Because why? The mission of the spirit of fornication that is sleeping with our children is what? Is there to kill, to destroy, and to steal. Do you understand? So children of God, let's come back to God and let's teach our children this thing. You understand? Let's teach our children these things, because when they are sleeping around, they must not think that they are sleeping with that boy. They must not think that they are sleeping with that man. They must not think they are sleeping with that girl. It's not about that, but the spirit is sleeping with them. The spirit of fornication is sleeping with them. If you are married and you are having partners, the spirit of fornication is the one that is busy romancing you and is busy sleeping with you. Because to conceive, it's a spiritual thing. No human being that is born of flesh can be able to conceive a human being. It's a spiritual thing. It's a thing of God. Do you understand? Which the enemy once again has stolen to kill and to destroy and to steal destinies and to kill the glory of man. Children of God, let's come back to God. Let's go back to God. Young people, divorce spirit of fornication. Young people, divorce spirit of lust. Men and women who are married, divorce spirit of adultery, and come back to God and see if your homes are not going to multiply, and see if your homes are not going to flourish. Because why? Everything now would be given but through what? The Spirit of God. But now if you are outside God, now the spirits of the devil are the one that are doing what? That are bringing children up. You understand? They're the one that are conceiving children. They're the one that are borning children. They're the one that are giving you the money. They're the one that are giving you the food that you are eating today. Do you understand? Life is spiritual. I am still on what caused us to conceive. It's a spiritual thing. Don't ever boast about it. You didn't do nothing. It's a spiritual thing. But make sure that you are married with what? With a clean spirit, with the right spirit, with the Spirit of God. Children of God, let's come back to God. This is heaven. On family foundation, bloodline errors, a church that is hidden in the hand of God. Today we're speaking about what causes us to conceive, so that our eyes can be opened. Be blessed, children of God. Be blessed.